What's up, people? What's up? What's going on? How y'all feeling on this good Sunday morning? Uh, Thanksgiving weekend. Hopefully everybody done ate good. You know, you done had your turkey, your dressing, your candied yams, your baked macaroni and cheese, all of the above. You had some good desserts, all that. We got a good show coming up for you. Uh, Soulful Sunday. Y'all already know who it is. Y'all know who I am. I am the man, 50 grand, your nephew, your next of kin. I'm your boy, born the champ. And we got an excellent show ahead for you. Today we're going to be discussing two things in particular. One is the power of forgiveness. We're going to touch on that. We're going to explain why it's important to sit up there and know how to forgive and why you should forgive. And then we're going to talk about, is love truly blind? So y'all go ahead, buckle up, put your seatbelts on, grab your recorders, grab your pen, paper, all that good stuff. We may have a few guests slide through, but y'all get ready. We're going to have a ride. Let's go. Well, the power of forgiveness. I mean, many of us, we hear all the time, in fact, about the importance of forgiveness and why you should forgive and all those things. And most of us have experienced some sort of being betrayed by someone, hurt by someone, and we feel justified in not wanting to forgive them and not wanting to seem like we are letting them get away with whatever hurt they brought to us or done to us. And quite honestly, that really isn't the case, because forgiveness is not about so much as making it seem like you're allowing the other person to get off scot-free, but more than anything, it's for you. What we often don't talk about is how much that not forgiving someone can turn into malice, how it can turn to unforgiveness, how unforgiveness can turn into bitterness, how bitterness can turn into resentment, so forth and so on, and then how it can begin to affect you in more than one way. That it can affect you not just from a mental standpoint, but it can begin to affect you emotionally, in turn, which can also begin to affect you physically. So the importance of forgiveness is not so much for the person who has wronged you, but more than anything for you. It's for you. It's for you to let go of that dead weight. It's for you to realize that, yeah, they've wronged you, but that's not the end all be all. Yeah, they broke your heart. It's not the end all be all. Yeah, they betrayed you. It's not the end all be all. When you're carrying unforgiveness, what looks like to be making progress is not. Or if you fuel that to use it as motivation to kind of prove them wrong, then everything and every decision you make is more so based upon the outlook that you're expecting this person to have or those individuals to have. And that shouldn't be your motivation. It shouldn't be your focal point. Not to mention, we all ourselves, at one point in time or another, has hurt someone. Whether intentional or unintentional, it's happened. We have hurt someone. And we should want forgiveness as well. To speak from a biblical standpoint, the Bible says in Matthew 11:25 that when ye stand praying, if ye have aught against anyone, forgive him, that your Father in heaven may forgive you. So that within itself shows the importance of forgiveness and why you need to and why you should. It is easy, so easy, to hold a grudge against someone. And sometimes we do it unconsciously or subconsciously without even realizing it sometimes. Because when we hear them, when we see them, all we think about is the offense. We think about the wrong that they done. And all that does is cause you to dig yourself into a hole. Subconsciously. That's what you're doing. You're digging yourself into a hole. Subconsciously, you are putting yourself in a rut. Many of us probably know someone we've seen on TV countless of times through different shows or whatnot. Oprah has hosted several. Hell, we got, and I don't want to mess up her name, so I'll just say Miss Van Zant, who has her own show, says "Fix My Life," and the majority of the time, it's getting people to. One of the steps in the process is getting them to acknowledge not only the hurt that someone's done, but getting to a place to where they are able to forgive that person so that they can move on in the healing process and becoming better and doing better. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. I'll be the first to sit there and tell you that process is not an easy one, but it's a doable one. But most of us have, in some way or another, have come in contact or know someone that been hurt and just hasn't been able to move forward because of that hurt, because of that person that hurt them. I've been to quite a few funerals, so forth and so on, where I've sat up there and I've been listening, heard one of the kids sit up and talk about how they wish they had a chance to talk to their father and basically make everything square. It's not always easy to forgive, but it's necessary to forgive. We say all the time is a promise, tomorrow is not promised. But it explains again the importance of knowing how to forgive and why you should forgive. Most often relationships are damaged because of one's unwillingness to forgive. As well as relationships have been restored and become stronger and better than before with one's willingness to forgive and to give that person another chance. So we can see it from different angles. We can see it from both sides of the coin. We've seen it. We've experienced, many of us have experienced it, but at the end of the day, always ask yourself this question. Is holding on to that unforgiveness, if holding on to what they done, is it going to help you? It's going to allow you to move forward. And then ask yourself, is forgiving them, what are the pros and cons for that? These are some questions that we should ask ourselves. Make a list, put a list together, and go from there. So we're going to take a very brief commercial break. And then when we come back, I may bring a guest on if they take on it. And we're gonna move forward. But once again, you tuning in to Soulful Sunday with your man Born the Champ. Hit y'all with these commercial breaks. We'll be right back.
It's 19 minutes past the hour, and I want to personally welcome you to the one and only Soulful Sunday podcast. hosted by the one and only Born Champion 1 from IG and LiveMe.com. That's right, we're broadcasting live off of LiveMe.com. Follow your boy at DJ Joe Brown. You like that, don't you, Fierce? I got independent broadcaster Fierce in the building, TZ in the building, Catfish AO, executive writer ASAP Asia Marie, and producer Queen Nisha. I got a couple people in the comments. Shout out to everybody in the comments. We're broadcasting to you live from LiveMe.com, and you are locked and tuned in to DJ Joe Brown Productions. And welcome to Soulful Sunday. All right, you got it, champ.
All right, that was my engineer, man. That was the man behind the scenes, man. The king of all podcasts, Mr. Entertainment himself, DJ Joe Brown. And again, man, we talking about on this lovely Sunday about the power of forgiveness, man. And some people will sit there and ask, well, why do I need to forgive? What's the point? You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna have me sitting up there and looking like a fool, because we know the saying. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We know that. We don't want to look like a fool. Nobody want to look like a fool. For nobody. Nobody wants to look like, you know what I'm saying, they gullible, or look like a sucker, or look like they some sort of welcome mat. We don't want to look like those things. And it's true that some people will take advantage of your kindness. Some people will. Some people will try to take advantage of the kind of heart that you have. You've heard me say on previous episodes about you have, depending on the topic, that you have to have a certain level of discernment, so that you can recognize, you know, what a person would try to do with the kind of person that you're dealing with as well. And even if it's a person that wants to sit there and wants to try to take advantage of you, there are ways to sit there that even after they've done something that basically you feel is crossing the line, you can still forgive them without setting yourself up to be or look like a sucker for them, or whatever adjective that you want to give it. The reason that you should forgive, again, is not for that person, it's for you. I can't tell you the number of people that I've come across throughout the years and that I've met, stories that I've heard from other people about people that, you know, how unforgiveness has affected their lives in more ways than one. And whether you believe it or not, it does. When you hold a grudge against somebody, when you walk around always angry, got a scowl on your face, and so forth and so on, you know what I'm saying? Like, you having unforgiveness towards one person can cause you and can affect other relationships. It can affect you building a relationship, future relationships, because it puts you in a position sometimes that trust issues are created. You get to a point you don't trust nobody. And then there are people that are legit will come into your life not to take advantage of you, not to see if they can use you or anything like that. They will come into your life to try to bring some sort of value, some sort of substance. But if you allow the hurt that someone else has caused you to put you in a place to where you feel everybody will do that, you're doing yourself a disservice. Is it easy to trust that someone has hurt you? No, it is not easy to sit up there and trust. It's not. It's not. But to walk around with the mentality or the mindset of thinking that every person is out to use you, every person is out to sit up there and do you some harm, all people are the same, is just asinine. In other words, crazy. stupid, because that's not the case. So the importance of forgiveness is for you to be better, for you to look at the situation, acknowledge that the situation definitely happened. But again, know that it's not the end all be all, and know the simple fact and become better from this. You can do better. You can be better, make wiser decisions next time around. Pay attention to the stuff that you need to pay attention to.
We'll be right back after these messages.
What's up, people? What's up? Let y'all just let the music marinate for a hot second, y'all. Let it marinate. I want to welcome you to some. And I am your man, 50 grand. I am your nephew, your next of kin. I'm your boy, born champion. Born a Champion 1 on Instagram. And you are definitely tuned in to Soulful Sunday. And again, we got a great topic, got a great show ahead. We are talking about the power of forgiveness. I'm getting ready to bring on my engineer, the man behind the scenes, the king of podcasts himself, Mr. Entertainment Tonight, a.k.a. Mr. TMZ. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Hit You With The News, DJ Joe Brown. Let's go.
Y'all tuned in with your bitch favorite DJ Joe Brown, the king of all podcasts.
Happy holidays, everybody.
All right, what's good? What's good? We had one that lag. We tried. God damn it. Anyway, welcome to Soulful Sunday. I am your co-host, DJ Joe Brown. Thank you, host of Soulful Sunday, champion. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So, speaking on forgiveness, okay, I believe that forgiveness is the next transition to a therapy on your heart, body, mind, and soul. Okay. See, forgiveness definitely takes time, and it is a healing process. Okay. So if I had to advise anybody on anything as far as forgiveness, especially with absence. Okay. So the reason why I say absence is because my biological father was absent 20 years of my life, and I'm only 29 now. Okay. So he was gone for 20 years, right? The 9 years that I really count and matter are the ones that just went by, because that first beginning of the year of allowing my father to be back into my life, I had to forgive. Okay. So when you're dealing with forgiveness, okay, it takes time. It takes nurture. It takes a healing, a particular healing. Okay. This particular healing is so powerful that it can move you right on into the next direction where you have to go. Okay. You know, when you're dealing with forgiveness, all right, forgiveness is one of those things to where you are receiving and channeling everything to where it needs to go. Okay. It's a special tool that you use when you have to work on yourself, when forgiving friends, family. You know, there's some family members where it's just so hard to even get to acknowledging the very thing that they done. And I don't have to go into great detail to talk about that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? There are some incidents that has shifted and shaped your life, all because you didn't take the time to do the proper healing. The proper healing is forgiving. Okay? Because see, not forgiving can cause stress, high blood pressure, weight gain, loss of wages, depression. This is all about forgiveness now, because remember, when you don't forgive, there's a bitter feeling that comes in your mind every time they walk past you, every time they pop up, every time you see them in the streets, every time you see them at a mutual friend house. You actually go to your mutual friend and tell them, hey, listen, I don't like that person. Why you got that person always in your house? You know darn well I don't like them. What?
Say that. That's all facts.
Okay, so this forgiveness turns into bitterness. It turns into anger. Okay, here's where the wrinkles in your face come in at.
Yep.
Okay.
Them crow's feet on the side of your face, on the side of your eyes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all I got on forgiveness, bro.
So let me ask you this then. What were the steps? Because you said you had to forgive your father, and me as well. My father was also absent for the majority of my life, my childhood. My father even went but I've always wanted a relationship with him. Prayed to have a relationship with him, which is something that we are currently working on, and we still have our snags here and there, but it's definitely better than what it was. So what were the steps that you took personally when it came to you forgiving your father?
One of the necessary steps that I had to take was picking up the phone. Okay, I had to stop ignoring the man. First of all, I had to stop that. Okay, I had to stop dodging his phone calls. When I started to engage into his phone calls, I felt that, okay, hey, let me enjoy this while I can. So we had more phone conversations, like the first year. And then after that, I started putting together little small trips and starting to going to see him and starting to be in his presence. See, the difference was that I was a child, and he had to be the parent, right? But when I got older, it seems like now you're looking at me not like a child, but you're looking at me like a man. So I feel like the respect grew just a little bit. That helped the steps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it was times that we argued on the phone. You know what I'm saying? And there was times where he had to get it to where you gotta respect me, brother. Yes. He's a cool dude. Yes. Sage, what up? Okay, go ahead, bro.
For me, the first thing that had to happen for me and my father was I definitely had to make up in my mind that I wanted to forgive him and that I was going to. And I had to be honest with him and talking with him, and I had to let him know, like, dude, it hurt not having you there.
Oh yeah, I think everybody had to have that one. That conversation.
I had to be honest with him about how I feel and all that and everything, but I also had to sit there and be honest with him and let him know, like, look, because I also recognize that he tried to in a way which was further damaging or keeping us from having a relationship in the beginning is he would push his guilt off on us as if it was our fault for him not being there. And we had to let him, I had to let him know, my brother had to let him know, even my baby sister, like, hey, at the end of the day, we have forgiven you. And I think the longest out of the three of us was my baby sister. It took her years before she finally forgave my father.
Hey,
Galactic. She wouldn't talk to him at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not at all. She wasn't calling him. She wasn't accepting no calls. It was bad to the point that I was basically playing the middleman between my father's side of the family and my sister, period. But I had to be honest with him about the pain.
Your sister,
I had to be honest with him about his choice.
Was she the
baby? I had to be
baby?
honest with him.
Was she the baby?
She was a baby.
That's why.
She's my father's only girl.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. And the crazy thing about it is she deserved that moment. You understand me?
Yeah.
She deserved that. Like I deserved my acting out. See, when this is what the new millennium don't understand, the new people that's coming up, that when a father or a mother or somebody very important is not involved like they should be involved, you know what I'm saying, what type of hurt it develops. The reason why the forgiveness part takes so long is because a lot of us haven't even acknowledged it. Had that conversation like, hey, buddy, you're hurting me. I had to tell my mom that when my mom was on drugs real bad. At the age of 16, I had ran away from my parents because my mom was on drugs, went and lived with my dad, ended up running away from my dad, and then I came back and I looked at my mom. My mom was so doped up. I told her, I say, don't you understand that you were hurting me on this stuff like that? I had to acknowledge right there to her face what I was going through. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's good for you to teach your children forgiveness at a very early age. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's good for you to, because all of us in here is about 29, 30. We're grown. You know what I'm saying? So we have been through tremendous things. You know what I'm saying? That dealt with forgiveness. There's some people that we can't stand on this app that we ain't never seen before, and we got a problem with them. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it.
The forgiveness is real, I'm telling you. And even with relationships that go on this app, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm ready to talk about the next one, champ. I wrote down so much stuff for me to talk about the next one. Okay, because I have.
I'm gonna get a few people to chime in on. Well, I may get a few people to chime in on the next one.
Yes, go ahead.
But we wrapping up this one, ladies and gentlemen. Heading into the next one. I want y'all to make sure, in fact, y'all tune in with me every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 noon Central Standard Time. We are literally on every platform: iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, Speaker, Google. We everywhere. So y'all make sure to, in fact, y'all enjoy the remainder of your Sunday. I know, you know what I'm saying, it's the holiday season. This is a very sensitive time of year for a lot of people.
So, man, just make sure to send back every chance you get for the remainder of this year. Just love on somebody, man. Just love on. You'd be surprised, you know what I'm saying, how much a hug or a smile will do for a person. So just, you know what I'm saying, love on them. I appreciate you. Thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to Bestie, the podcaster of That's My Best Friend, That's My Best Friend. Shout out to King Sugar Bear, or King, a.k.a. King of All Bears. And check out his show, Just Ask Bear. Shout out to Jay Camp. You know he out here grinding. So be sure to check out his show, #Stimulation. Shout out to I Am Kamisha Red, host of Red's Late Night Talk Show. Y'all make sure y'all check them out. Check out Bears broadcast every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Check out Cam's broadcast every late Tuesday night at 1:30 a.m. Red's podcast show. Make sure y'all check her out every Monday through Thursday, late night. And make sure you check out Bestie's show every Saturday at 4 p.m. I appreciate y'all again chilling with me. I hope something was said in this show to some fact that encourage you, to make you realize some fact that you can forgive. Go ahead and forgive. Forgiveness is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's a great strength. And it's for the betterment of you. So, peace and love. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all stick around for the next show. Catch the next show. Love y'all. We out.